I studied the theory behind movement, also I could enter the matrix to learn how to dodge the enemy's bullets and become unkillable. And I'm not just talking about some ray satchels or neon slides, but the stuff that most players overlook in their journey to improving. The stuff that you probably never even thought about, that goes beyond simple peeks or counter strafing. Like, do you know what an aim filter is? I didn't either, but first, we have to start from the beginning. No matter how good your aim is, it's only 50% of the equation. The other 50% is movement. So how do we master movement? Well, 25% of that 50% can be broken down with this one sound. You hear that? That's a metronome. But how does a metronome help our movement? Movement isn't an instrument, except it is. You see, our end goal is to have our movement and aim become one with each other, like controlling two strings of a puppet that we can use to hit headshots while making ourselves a difficult target. So what does a metronome have to do with this? Listen again. If I can increase my BPM while consistently shooting straight, my gunfight movement will become significantly better. Along with this, I'm going to benchmark my movement using the range parkour. Day 1, I got 6 minutes and 40 seconds. And on my first game, I couldn't meet my expectations. You never notice how much you crouch spray until you become conscious of how you move. Actively trying not to crouch spray reduces your focus on the fight and directs it towards your movement. But this is not what we want. Our movement should become second nature, like a flow state, where each press of the keyboard feels effortless. Is achieving this state even possible? Yes, it is. Because pause, this is genuinely one of the most insane clips you will ever watch.
How the fuck did that guy not die?
If this is our end goal, then we have a long way to go. On my first day, I died a total of 34 times, or an average of 17 deaths a game, which isn't horrible, but we need to push ourselves further. Immortal 2 isn't going to reach itself. Continuing to day 2, 130 BPM, 4 minutes and 41 seconds, which is improvement. Each day is as important as the next for fine-tuning my movement, because the key to improvement is consistency. Every game may not be flashy or consist of big numbers, but they're all essential to the end goal. Now, it's time to bite into the meat of movement. What is an aim filter? It's best described by Kompeki.
Just because you're the better aimer than your enemies doesn't mean that you'll automatically win. There's way more to it than that. That's because there are also quote-unquote aim filters. Aim filters are extra mechanical components in the game that affects your raw aim. So in Valorant, it's not just raw aiming. You have to be in control of your movement or you'll be inaccurate.
So your raw aim is affected by peeking, strafing, micro movements. I'll just give you a second to guess what they all have in common. It's all movement. Everything in this game is movement. Movement is 70% of everything. From how we take our timings, fights, clutches, even the decider in the 0.1 second bomb diffuses. It's all movement. Okay, wow. This is gonna be a lot more to cover than I thought. Let's just roll it back for a second. Remember when I said this is the end goal? Well, I lied. This is actually the end goal.
Does have the pip, obviously the null command gonna remove that. Meteor will fall here. That's gonna get another one. Oh, that's indeed. Oh my god.
Fluid motions that bring out the best of our raw aim. So I've done a bit more digging and found this.
What are micro movements exactly? They're the tiny adjustments you make to your position while strafing or holding an angle. By constantly making these small shifts, you become a moving target that's much tougher for enemies to lock onto.
Now, don't get it twisted. Micro movements aren't counter strafes, but they're basically counter strafes on crack. The key is to always be moving, always be on your feet, always be alert. How do I practice that? Just play deathmatch and be conscious of making micro movements. With new enlightenment, I was ready to climb to Immortal 2, but what I was not ready for was the rank reset. It was time to put the test to my put the movement to my test. You know what I mean. 140 BPM, 4 minutes 28 seconds, and Brimstone on Icebox. In the ISO 1v1, all I need to do is focus on my movement. Even if he has the shield, it doesn't matter if he can't hit me. Move faster than the enemy's crosshair can track me. And even when the enemies think they caught me off guard, it's them who are caught off guard. My movement felt so crisp, so clean. Improving my movement forced me to stop crouch spraying, and it felt like a bad habit had been lifted off my chest. After all 5 placement games, I expected to be placed Ascendant 1 since that's the highest rank you can be placed, but I wasn't too disappointed with Diamond 3. But that means we need to reevaluate our goal. For now, our sights are set on just getting back to Immortal. I'm gaining much more elo than I lose, so this shouldn't be too hard. Until you look at my gameplay. I was playing like ass.
Backside, backside, backside.
So much so that I tried to make up for it by playing Neon, who is basically movement except for babies. And I say that because look at this. How is a character just allowed to run at their face like this and do this? But I will not go down the easy road of insta-locking Neon. There was a layer in my movement that I was just missing. I wasn't fully focused. I couldn't secure my kills. Wait. There's a solution for this. It's called Dedi peeking. And I don't need Kompeki to describe this one. For every angle you peek, you have to do it with intention. Visualize the enemies. Make your peek dedicated to killing the enemy. That's why it's called the Dedi peek. I know this may be obvious, but to pull it off, I need to be focused. And with this, I have everything I need to hit Immortal, and it'll only be a matter of time. But how will I know that my movement is what helped me rank up? One way or another, I want to see a clear improvement in my movement.
What is this guy doing?
Go.
One HP, kill him.
After 7 days, here I am. 1 game away from reaching my goal. I've been focusing on my movement for 7 days, all for it to come together in 1 game. Actively focusing on how I move has made it become more second nature for me, and it was time to put the test to my movement to the test here on Sunset. It was time to show my progress.
85 on him.
So far, nothing too flashy. Our team was looking good, and even though I wasn't putting up numbers, rounds were piling up.
Nice shot.
Even my movement was but diamonds form under pressure. When the stakes are low, it's okay if silly moments like that happen. But when it matters the most, that was the end goal we were looking for. And the fact that it's happened in 1 round of 1 game shows a glimpse of not only my growth, but also my potential. With the 10-2 lead, my rank up should be secured. But do you ever think about the mistakes you make in game? In the moment, it may not be so obvious, but once you look back at your gameplay, you think, wow, what the hell am I doing? Why did I peek like that? Or why did I even peek that in the first place? Maybe I just felt too confident in my movement that I thought it would overpower any other factor in the fight. The truth is that good movement requires good timing, and before I realized it, we had reached overtime. Was I really gonna throw away this win? No, I need this. Jet popped his knives, so he's probably gonna try to jump or swing wide. Everything came together on the last round, and with this, my movement journey comes to a close. I still have greater heights to reach, but after diving into movement, the grind will be that much easier.